Welcome back to the ABC of EDC and another watch review. This time, a little watch that I've had my eye on for a little while. Well, this particular brand. Never had one before, and I thought to myself, I'll get one in for the channel and let's see what's what. This is a little watch from Steeldive. This is what they label the SD1979, and I'm told it's something of a tribute act to a Squale 50 Atmos. Now, I don't know much about Squale. It's never really been a brand that I've trucked with. Not for any particular reason, just not really gone there. But I saw this watch, and like I say, I want to buy the Steeldive Willard, their kind of Willard kind of tribute. But actually saw this and I was like, oh mate, that's kind of juicy. I should get that in. So anyway, let's get on with it. What's in the box is the watch itself. You also get within the watch, obviously it comes on a nice bracelet, but then you also get a little Steeldive branded strap as well, which is nice. Not really my cup of tea, but it's nice to have, I guess. Also in the bag, there is another bag within bags, little spring bar tool, some extra kind of spring bars themselves, which is always handy. There is, as ever, a little kind of guarantee, a little instructions how to use a watch, and then in the bottom there is the links that I removed because mate, his watch is a pretty big watch, man. So I removed hella links, man, just to kind of get it to where it needed to be. Anyway, let's move on to the main show here, the watch itself. Just get out this little pack. Like I say, I've opened this already. I've taken the little Steeldive tag off as I was kind of adjusting the length of the bracelet. Anyway, it just kind of came off. And here is the watch itself. Now, I think this thing is very, very pretty. There is something about it. When I got it out, it feels like, I can't explain it. Well, I can. I'm going to try. It feels like it's been milled out of like one solid lump. It's got some real heft to it. I don't actually recall the actual weight. I'll stick it up on the screen right now just so you can feel, hopefully imagine what it feels like in my hand. But it's a chunky kind of unit. You know what I mean? It really is. And it's a stunning looking watch. I was quite surprised when it came out how much I have liked it, and as I've worn it, how much I have actually liked it. I'm looking at the bezel way off, man. Look, honestly, I ain't even got it set to the right time or nothing. Anyway, let's do dimensions first, and then we'll take it from there. Let me grab the old thing. Now, she is quite a chunky girl, this one. So we are looking at a case diameter. Oh my gosh, that's wrong. Now, on the website, it says 43.3. But actually, I'm getting a 42. Let's check this out, man. Yeah, I guess that we're getting 43.1 there, 43. But actually, at different points in the case, 42. But I guess we'll go into the case in a minute because there's a few different things going on with the case. Anyway, so 42. We have 22 mil lugs, I believe. Yeah, big old thing, 22. The lug to lug on this sucker is 50, bang on the 50. Size of the crown, because we've been doing the size of the crown lately, is the crown pretty small actually. Let's get that. Crown is 5.7, so you know we've been up in the 6/8 with the last few watches we've been looking at. The crown is quite small and sometimes a bit difficult to get a hold of. Lovely bracelet, milled clasp, and this is a quality unit. We'll get onto the things I don't dislike, things I don't like as we go along, and one of them is the width of this bracelet, or rather the fact it doesn't taper. But the bracelet itself, man, I can't complain, mate. It's got that kind of catch the light situation with all these links in it. These kind of 3 links, 3 twos all the way down. It's a push pin. There's no screws here, but push pins don't really bother me. There's a little bit of a safety on the latch here, which is nice, and then a couple of pushers either side. Like I say, fully milled. One thing I would say about this bracelet, look at that amount of micro adjustment, man. There is like 7. Is it 7? Let me do a quick count, man. No, there's 6, man. There's six little micro adjustments there. So you really can find your, I mean, I'm right in the middle there. You can see I'm right in the middle, but you can really find the comfort spot with this watch. Let me just throw it on wrist actually while I'm here, man. Looking down at this watch for the last few days, moving around a bit with it, I must say, mate, I'm always happy. I'm always happy. And just as that bracelet, it's a bit of a juxtaposition, this watch. You think it wouldn't work. You see the bracelet, it's got that shiny, catchy light thing, but the case has got this bead blasted situation. where you're actually like, oh my gosh, like, how does that work? How do I get such a shiny kind of blingy bracelet? And then it goes into this kind of matte bead blasted case and bezel, the bezel action, which I must say, oh, nice, man. It's really crispy. As you can hear, let me bring the mic up. It's real. You can feel it. You can hear it, mate. It is serious, man. Alignment issues? None that I can see. It lines up perfectly. Loom, I'll cut to loom. I think this watch, although the loom doesn't stay, it's very pretty why it is there. That dial, mate, I just love that orange hand, mate. That orange hour hand, that little white, the orange minute hand, the white hour hand. That second hand with that rectangle on the end. And I love the fact that the dial isn't very busy, just a Steeldive logo, just a little date window, small information at 6 o'clock. And even that date window, you know me, I'm on a campaign to make sure that every company in the world that makes a watch color codes their date wheel. And the fact that they haven't done it here, even that doesn't really bother me. Now, saying this is a tribute of a Squale that I don't really know, I can't say how much of this watch, if any, is original, is actually, you know, from the mind of those at Steeldive, and how much is a complete one-to-one copy. I'll make sure I have a little look and maybe know a little bit more, but I just say I like it. I like the look of this watch. I like the feel of this watch. You know, pretty kind of not much on the case back there. Solid end. Well, I say solid end links. We haven't actually got kind of fitted end links on here, so you can mess around and do what you want. Again, you can throw it on that rubber if you wanted. You can throw it on a NATO. There's quite a lot of choices, and I imagine it will look very good on most of them. Sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel insert, 200 meters water resistance, screw down crown, decent amount of loom, AR coating on the underneath of that sapphire crystal, making this, although there's still a little bit of glare maybe at times, it's still pretty readable at most times. Like I say, it's got a signed crown. I don't know if you can see it there. I'll try and put some matte coating in a signed crown. I would say, and this might be just, if it is a really one-to-one copy of that Squale, it might be a Squale issue, but the crown is sometimes a bit hard to get to because of the angle of that case. It's just sometimes a little bit hard to get to in order to kind of come out and adjust the time and do whatever you want to do. It hacks as soon as you pull that crown out. The second stops, you can get an exact time if you want. It is a unidirectional bezel. It don't go back the other way. And also there's not a lot of, there's no play. There's no play. So here's the thing, man. This is obviously a tribute watch. You know, this is doffing its cap to another brand, and you can mark it down for that. But I wouldn't, and I would give it good marks for saying this is a really well engineered, well put together, solid watch. No back play on the bezel, no bad fitments, no hair pulling on this bracelet, no rough edges. Articulation is really good. In my experience, although I haven't got a time graph and I don't do that day to day, it's keeping time very well. A constant pleasure to look down upon. I like it. So there's a lot to like about this watch, one of which is the price, man. I think this is an NH35 movement from Seiko. I'll just double check that. If it's different, I'll put it up on the screen. But it's a good solid movement. One of the best things about this is the price. I think this is 135 quid. That's amazing. 135 quid for this level of watch, the accessories. Love it. Great look. Love this watch. Love the way the case actually, it's got some interesting stuff on it. The case is very smooth on one side, but over on where the crown is, there's a little kind of bump. You see that little bump just here, man? Like where there's a sort of like just a little gradient there where I guess a crown would normally be on a watch. I don't know. I like it, man. Price is good. Specs are monstrous. The look is fantastic. What can I mark it down on? I can mark it down on the fact this bracelet has zero taper. Zero taper. I feel like I'm wearing a kind of chintzy man bracelet from the 80s, you know, just straight up, straight down. I would really prefer if this, and I know it's hard with a bracelet of this type to add a taper, but I look down and I see it's quite wide here at the lug, and I would love it if it just tapered a little bit. Now you could get a leather strap or a rubber strap that would taper, just take off a bit of the heft of this watch, and maybe that'd be good, but then you would lose this bracelet, which actually for me, I'm surprised. I thought that would be the thing I wouldn't like about this watch, but it turns out to be one of my favorite things about it. Anyway, this has been the Steeldive SD1979, my first, but I'm telling you, not my last Steeldive. We're going to be getting the Willard in, their copy of the Seiko Willard, you know what I mean, their homage, their tribute, their doffing of the cap. We're going to get that in, and we'll have another look at another Steeldive. But first experience, well, not actually first. I did actually previously I bought a pre-owned Steeldive when I was first collecting watches, and I was impressed with that, but it was just really the head of the watch. This is good to get one brand new with a bracelet, all complete. Love it, mate. Can't recommend it enough. Yeah, thank you very much. This has been the ABC of EDC. I've been Rick Flat, and this has been the Steeldive SD1979. Until next time, take care. Laters.